What's up, YouTube? I haven't done one of these in a long time. Well, I've just been pumping out the short content, to be honest. But today we are doing a long. Yeah, that's right, a long. Anyways, today we're going to start a new series. I got this idea from a guy named Wyatt's World that I watch sometimes. He does this same thing, but with like sports content, like quarterbacks and like football, basketball, anything with sports. Basically how this works is we're going to compare each legend to Wraith. Imagine you have a third teammate. Would you rather have them play Wraith or Crypto? Or Wraith or Lifeline? And you basically say above means yes, I'd rather have that other legend, or below, I'd rather have Wraith. And I know the team comp does make a difference, but we're just going to throw that out the window. We're just going to pretend like this is a random third teammate. Like say you're playing platinum ranked lobbies, who would you rather have? Basically, I'm trying to answer the question, will I get more value out of a different legend besides Wraith? Yes or no? If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe down below and comment who you think I should compare next. Let's get started though. We should probably put Wraith in the middle. That would make sense. But the first one is Bangalore. If you've watched my streams, you know that I hate Bangalore. People that play Bangalore that like aren't good or like that are just average players, a lot of them just do not know how to utilize Bangalore. So I'm taking a Wraith over a Bangalore like 10 times out of 10. That's just like, I just feel like Bangalore's hurt me more than they help me most of the time. Higher level Bangalore's probably would help a lot. Okay, with Bloodhound, they're really good. I will say that. But if you don't have a Bloodhound on the team, I don't like Bangalore. Next one is Bloodhound. I am taking Bloodhound over Wraith. Like, honestly, Bloodhound's information that he gives out is just too good. I'm taking, like, it doesn't even matter the team comp. I think Bloodhound's one of the best legends in the game. Caustic Caustic is weird. Caustic really depends on the player. It's kind of a dice roll too on what kind of player you get. I think I would rather take Caustic over a Wraith right now. Like I said, like if you're an average player, I've noticed that most people probably just sit back and play defensively with him, which like there's not really anything wrong with that. But I think for the most part, you're going to get somebody that knows how to play Caustic and knows to use him offensively, and I think he'll just provide you more value than a Wraith will in that range. Crypto can be good, but I think you would get more value with Wraith than a Crypto. I would take Wraith's movement and like being able to like get in and get out over Crypto's information, because most of the time when you do get information from Crypto, it's not going to matter because you can't really 2v3 push unless that Crypto is like in the fight with you while he's scanning, basically. I think high-level Cryptos I probably would take over Wraith. But in this range, like if it's like an average player, I'm taking a Wraith. Fuse, I think Fuse is really underrated. I really do. Again, I think I would take a high-level Fuse over a Wraith. But if we're talking average player, I'm taking Fuse over Wraith if it's an average player. I really like Fuse's play style. If you get somebody that knows how to play, that like is a pretty decent Fuse, I really like Fuse's playstyle. It fits my playstyle really well. Like I like to get weird angles, and I'm good at predicting where people are going to go. So if you can just get a Fuse that knows how to push somebody from like a hiding spot or push somebody away from something, then I can usually follow up with them. So that's kind of why I like Fuse over Wraith. I think my personal playstyle will get more value out of it than a Wraith. Gibby's just one of the best in the game. Like I would take a Gibby any time of the day. It's kind of in the same tier as Bloodhound. I don't think there's hardly any legends that I would take over Gibby. Nothing really against Wraith there, honestly. Horizon's a tough one. Horizon, I feel like, is a really high level, high skill cap character. I think I would take Horizon over Wraith simply because of her ult. That is why I think her ult provides a shit ton of value in those lower rank lobbies, because a lot of people just don't like forget that it's coming or like don't know how to deal with it. Basically, they just like let it happen. You can just chuck grenades on there. I think it's harder to counter like a Horizon than it is like a Wraith. Lifeline, I think I would take a Wraith over a Lifeline right now. If Lifeline doesn't have a gold bag, she really is not good right now. And her ult just takes forever to get. Most of the time, you can't even use it because you already have good loot by the time you get the ult. So I would take Wraith. I think Wraith's portal And again, her first strike ability would be get way more value than if you would like res with a lifeline or like the loot that the lifeline may or may not get. I would take a Loba over a Wraith. Provides more value when it comes to looting, end game type stuff. I just think you'd get more value out of that in like a plat lobby or something like that than a Wraith would. Mirage, I'm taking a Wraith over a Mirage. I don't think he provides like any escapability. It's kind of like he's kind of like a one trick wonder, you know, like once you get somebody once, usually you don't get him again type thing. And I feel like if you're really in a pinch, like Wraith's gonna just give you better mobility, better kit basically. Octane or Wraith, I'm taking an Octane over a Wraith. Bounce pad's just too strong. Bounce pad's way better than the portal, in my opinion. Pathfinder. I'm taking a Pathfinder over a Wraith as well. Another movement character. I still think the Zipline I think is like on the same level as the portal, in my opinion. It can be longer than the portal, but it's definitely like more attention grabbing, I would say. Wraith and Pathfinder play very similarly, in my opinion. Like they're like Wraith, Pathfinder, and Octane all play very similarly. They just all kind of like get in, try to get some damage, get out. Octane and Pathfinder are just it's just more valuable, better. Like how the game is played today, I think they're just better than Wraith. Rampart, I'm taking a Wraith over a Rampart. Rampart, again, I still think after the buff, Rampart's not very good. Her playstyle is just not very good for today's Apex Legends, how the game is played today. Wraith is just way better with the movement. I just think you're going to have way more value with Wraith than a Rampart. Revenant is very team comp based. If you don't have a good team, specifically Octane, if you don't have an Octane on your team, I personally think Revenant is not good at all. Like, I don't know. I'm taking a Wraith over a Revenant unless there's an Octane on your team. If there's an Octane on your team, I'm taking a Revenant. But if not, taking a Wraith. I think it's really that simple. Seer, ever since the Seer nerf, whenever I play in like platinum lobbies or like those middle tier lobbies, I just think nobody ever gets value from Seer. Like people I still don't think people know how to play him. Like when it's like in that average lobby area, I think I'd rather take a Wraith than a Seer. I really do. I think I'd get more value from a Wraith because most of the time people just miss the Q all the time and like they just misuse their ult when it comes to the Seer. Valkyrie is another sort of interesting character when it comes to like similar character to Wraith. Kind of could use that escapability function. I think I would rather take a Valkyrie right now than a Wraith because of the rotation that Valkyrie provides. Just overall more movement with Valkyrie, and I think the Valkyrie can kind of like fight with you rather than like Wraith kind of needs to go off on her own to get value for her Q, rather than like Valkyrie can just kind of sit back and play as a team and like stun them and then push them. I think you get more value out of a Valkyrie. Like the third party ability when it comes to Valkyrie is way too good. And then Wattson below Wraith, I think that's pretty obvious. Kind of similar to Rampart, just not that good for today's Apex Legends. She's not a bad hero. I don't think she can be really good. But if I'm playing in a plat lobby, I'm just gonna get way more value out of a Wraith than an average Wattson main, in my opinion. Well, that does it for comparing Wraith to other legends. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day, and as always, we will see you in the next video.